Hi there everyone, Musical Aviator here. It is Monday, which means that we should have air traffic control kind of seated over Melbourne and Sydney here in Australia. Today is the first day that people are in the real world allowed to travel from Melbourne to Sydney, and I can see that most of the aircraft are going in that direction. But I thought we might have a little bit of a look around the new Orbx scenery. You may not realise, but Orbx has been releasing some scenery for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and one of those pieces of scenery is Sydney. Not the airport, just like the city, the harbour, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to take out a small plane, do a little bit of VFRing around the Sydney Basin. We're in Bankstown at the moment, down here. We are departing Bankstown, heading up towards Parramatta. From Parramatta we'll head over the Pennant Hills flashing light, maybe as far up as Hornsby, chuck a massive right hand turn, fly over the St Ives Showground, then on to Long Reef, where we'll receive clearance hopefully to enter controlled airspace. If not, we'll do a couple of circles around Long Reef, having a look at Narrabeen. Once we get a clearance, it'll probably be inbound via Manly, Harbour Bridge, a couple of circles around here. You might get a clearance in to descend outside controlled airspace, which is 500 feet. Do a bridge run underneath the bridge, back in the other direction, back into the controlled airspace around in Middle Harbour, once more around the Harbour Bridge, and then we'll head back on to Long Reef and around towards, I think we might even go up to Barrenjoey Head, Patonga, inbound by the Brooklyn Bridge, and then down to Prospect. Rossi's inbound to Sydney from Adelaide. Good stuff. There you are. 10, whatever it is. Anyhow, we've got a full tank of fuel. That should give us about 3 hours of flying time. We're only going to use about an hour of that. Maybe an hour and a half at max. So let's jump in and get our little 4-seat aircraft ready. The Diamond DA40. So the Diamond DA40 is an aircraft that they use at the University of New South Wales for their training over there. So it's probably one that Arjun is quite familiar with. Here at Bankstown, the altitude is roughly the equivalent of that. So we have 1006. Let's pop her on. Okay. Avionic master switch is in. Just going to pop a few little details onto our flight plan here. So there's the flight plan. Here we are at Bankstown. Probably clear that one. Cool. And the first waypoint is PRT, which is Parramatta. Just check KLM. It's going to zoom in a touch. There we are. I'm using a joystick today, much like this thing here. PQRS. Net. So PRT is Parramatta. It is, of course, the intersection in Melbourne, FIR. After PRT, we're going to Hornsby, which is HSY. We've got a G1000, so I might as well use it, in my opinion. Hornsby is the only one of that type. Then we'll track over to Longreef, LRF. Don't need to go over the top of the St. Ives showground, just a beam. Hi there to Dylan. Back to the Melbourne, there we are. HBB for the Harbour Ridge. After the Harbour Bridge, we'll probably track out via the City Heads, Longreef, and up to Patonga, which is PAA. And out of Patonga, over to Brooklyn Bridge, BBG. That's Brooklyn Bridge on the Hawkesbury River. What's it called again? Double B. And the last one that we need is Prospect, BSP. And finally, good old Bankstown. I'm happy with that. Flight plan is done. Let's arrange that out. There's clearly one that's missing there somewhere. HSY is there. PAA. The BRG. It's PSP, isn't it? Prospects are missing. Strange. That'll have to do. We just have to visually navigate down to Prospect. Should be easy enough. Anyhow, we need to start an engine. To do that, we'll chuck the engine into the on mode. Fuel pump's on. I do not believe that we have the ability to put the checklist on the screen on this one, unfortunately. Default aircraft, what can we say? Fuel is pretty much full. We have TO on the trim. Normal mode on the fuel pumps. It's going to turn on some lights, position and strobes. Clear prop. That's looking good. We'll settle it there. We want a maximum altitude of 1,500 for the first bit and 2.5. Let's open these things up. BFD. Stuck that transponder in. Run VFR code. Grab the ATIS 12625. I believe we're on CTAF at the moment, so the bank's on CTAF 132.8.
Sydney Terminal Information Hotel. Expect independent visual approach. Runway 16 right and 16 left for arrivals and departures. Wind, 300 degrees, 16 knots. Visibility greater than 10 kilometers. Light showers of rain. Temperature 25. QNH 1004. On first contact with Sydney ground or approach, notify receipt of information hotel.
Let's start moving. Okay, we're setting up in the hotel area. Mark the kilo, we'll taxi out and position onto kilo, Alpha 3, and onto the run-up bay. Good thing about these aircraft, they have a automatic engine system for mixture, so it's just throttle on this aircraft. Makes things nice and easy. There's no rotating beacon on this aircraft either, it is just a strobe. It's an LED light strobe as well. Okay, before I move past here, going to broadcast on the CTAF. Bankstown traffic, November, proper November, is a Diamond 40, taxiing to runway out of position kilo. Traffic Bankstown. Hi there, Matteo and Brad. Let's go pop over that CTAF again, get the wind. 316, so I'm going to use runway 29s. Up the other
Sydney
way.
Terminal Information Hotel. Expect independent visual approach. Runway 16 right and 16 left for arrivals and departures. Wind, 300 degrees.
300, cool. Indeed, Brad, just flying around Sydney instead of flying to Sydney. Other Atomic, I've done other FS 2020s before. We even flew it on Worldflight a couple of times. So no, this is not the first time in FS 2020. It's about the 27th time. Hello, Toilet Inspector. Going well. We're allowed out of our state now. First time in a couple of months, about 3 months. Border is open. You're allowed to drive to New South Wales. Hello to Snowman. And hello, Aaron. Into the run-up bay. Okay, let's chuck the brake in and do a couple of our full takeoff checks. Those are doing well. Alrighty, so there's no mixture and there's no magnetos on this aircraft either. There are, but it's an electrical master switch. So what you normally do here is hit the ECU test button. I'll go into ECA A or ECA V, and unfortunately that's not actually active in the default, but basically it does the magneto test for you on that ECU button. Nearest thing we can do is just do it ourselves. So I'll push the RPM up to about 1500. And it acts pretty much like that. You got the pitot heat on, the fuel transfer not required for the takeoff. Altimeter's looking okay. Let's do a takeoff brief. So we're going to be taxiing out to runway centre because it's a CTAF today. From 29 centre we have a 1,400 metre long runway. Probably come airborne about halfway down it. After departure we make a climb out to 1,000 feet, level off, and then make a right hand turn up to Parramatta. At Parramatta we're going to climb up to, I think it's, is it 1,005? Yeah, 1,500 at Parramatta, and then we'll continue on past Pennant Hills all the way climb to 2,005. From there, trekking all the way up to Hornsby, and from Hornsby we'll make another right hand turn, St Ives Showground. Passing the St Ives Showground we will make a call into Sydney Approach 124.4 using runway 16s today, so that means we do need to be getting clearance before we hit Long Reef. If we don't get the clearance before Long Reef we'll make a couple of left hand orbits of Long Reef until we get a clearance in. Then I'd imagine we'll be either direct to Sydney Harbour, quite likely. Sometimes they make you go direct to Manly and then Sydney Harbour. We'll do a couple of orbits of the Harbour Bridge. We'll do a little under the Harbour Bridge just to demonstrate that you can. And then pop back up to a Long Reef and up to Banjeri Head, around Patonga, and then down into Brooklyn Bridge before heading down to Prospect. Heading at Brooklyn Bridge, since we need it, is 211. I'm using the flight director a little bit today. Got flight level change as an option. And we'll take flaps takeoff. Takeoff flap is set. Have the taxi lights on. Bankstown traffic, November Papa November is taxiing to runway 29 centre from the Alpha holding point. Exams and then free on Friday. Good to hear. $2020 will be worth it one day. If you're flying VFR, it's probably pretty good, especially the Cessna 172 and the aircraft that aren't the G1000 aircraft. The G1000 is not too bad, but there's a few features missing that, you know, would be nice to have, like the ability to use QNH instead of inches mercury. Having a good add-on would be good. We don't really have that yet. Still just default airplanes. Bankstown traffic, Papa November is crossing runway 29 right at Alpha. Okay, all the lights in. Takeoff checklist. Showing a heading of 167. That's correct on the compass. Okay, seatbelts are fastened. Hatches are closed and locked. Takeoff trim is set. Fuel transfer is off. ECC bus is in not emergency mode. Fuel pumps are in. That's wrong. Bankstown traffic. November Papa November enters runway 29 sensor. Departure to crosswind left. Second right crosswind. Look at that little dip in the runway. Now that is something you don't get in P3D. Let's go. $60 knots. $300 feet, flap up. And 1,000 feet, we'll start turning out to Parramatta. Parramatta spotted. There's Prospect over there. $110 knots, get that RPM under control. Other Aussie aircraft, there's always people joining without knowing what they're doing. That's what joining is all about. Coming to a thing you've never done before. Other reasons for people to join without knowing what they're doing is, you know, it's school holidays and I just got P3D for the first time. We're in quarantine lockdown. I've got nothing to do for 10 weeks, so might as well join Vatsim, even though I've never done it before. That's what it's all about. It's all part of being on the online environment, really. Gonna pick up nav mode. Not on the autopilot yet, but we will be in a little while. That little building there is part of Parramatta's Central Business District. And the big Great Western Motorway, the M4. Over there we have the Parramatta River. So as we go past Parramatta, once we pass the river here, and I've walked across that bridge right there. Last time I was in Sydney, I think, would have been February or perhaps the January time. Can't remember. One of those two. Nice bridge. The Edward, I haven't got them yet. I'm expecting them sometime this week or maybe next week at the worst. But the time frame was sometime this week, most likely, assuming the mail is working. Let's switch over to Sydney Approach 1244, and to do that I'm just going to go to the autopilot for a second. Easier that way. Autopilot is in level, altitude 15. And let's pick up a frequency 1244.
Qantas 462, Sydney Approach, g'day. Information hotels, current. Cancel the start, 10 left, heading 020 degrees, descend to 6,000 feet.
We've got a hotel on board and cancelling the start, left 020 down to 6,000, Qantas 462.
And 462, you can expect the ILS 16 run.
Copy 462.
Jetstar 612, 5 till touchdown, contact with tower 120.5, g'day.
20.5, Jetstar 612, see ya.
Okay, coming up on Hornsby. The amount of bounciness today is a bit annoying, but it's probably true to real because there were some thunderstorms coming through today here in Sydney. Let's go up another 1,000.
City Approach, Los Chicago 8674 with you, flight level 130.
Hi there, Edward.
8674, Sydney Approach, g'day. Information hotels current, expect the ILS 16 right, descent to 9,000 feet, large star.
Went up to quite a bit, went flying for real.
You cut it on me there, I had to say information hotel.
Went up to Kilmore to visit a 7377.
8674, information hotels current, expect the ILS 16 right, descend via the star to 9,000 feet, QNH 1004.
Roger.
Information Hotel, expect ILS 16 right, descend to 9000, cargo 8674.
That's Hornsby train station right there.
Sydney approach, hello again, Ukrainian International 111 with you.
Ukrainian International 111, Sydney approach, welcome back. Turn right, heading 350 degrees, descend to 3,000 feet.
And the Westfield just beyond it.
Repeat heading please.
350 degrees.
Right 350 degrees, descending 3000 feet, Ukrainian 111.
Yeah, I filmed some of it. I didn't get any audio again. For some reason my recorders are being annoying. So I'm going to go and buy another one of them at some point for the next trip. But I have some good vision and some good engine sounds. Might even be able to look up Melbourne approach or something.
Qantas 462, speed 230 knots.
230 knots, 462.
Hawkesbury River up there, we'll see it again shortly. Flew out of Moorabbin. Did a lap of the bay, kind of.
Ukrainian International 111, you can expect the ILS again, runway 16 right. Just confirm the reason for the go around.
This is the Orbx Sydney. We haven't seen much of it yet, but once we get down to the harbour, you'll see a proper harbour bridge.
Ukrainian 111, expect the ILS runway 16 right again. And what was the reason for the go around?
A little bit higher near the runway.
What?
Roger.
What is the reason that you went around? I'm a little bit tired. What? You're tired, so you went around. Okay.
German cargo 8674, descend via the star 6000 from Boogie, 10 left, heading 335 degrees.
Narrabeen Lake, straight ahead.
Descend to 6000 and from Boogie turn left 335 degrees. German cargo 8674.
Gonna drop another 300 feet. Be at 1,500 by the time we hit the coast.
Ukrainian 111, turn right, heading 070 degrees.
070 degrees, Ukrainian 1.
Qantas 462, descend to 4,000 feet.
Down to 4,000, Qantas 462.
That's a long reef right there. Sydney approach, November, Papa November is a DA40, 1,500 long reef, requesting coaster into the CTA to Harbour Scenic 1.
November Papa, November Sydney approach, g'day. Squawk 0531.
Squawk code 0531, November, Papa November. Sticking that all apart again.
Connect 578 with your flight level 120 for 9,000.
G-Link 578 Sydney approach, g'day. Information hotels current, correction, information India's current. Expect the visual approach runway 16 right.
transfer the
Vector
seat.
approach runway 16 right in current information India.
Yeah, they can ask for reason for go around. Your normal response would be unstable or traffic.
Ukrainian 111, turn right heading 125 degrees in cleared ILS runway 16 right.
Right 125, cleared to ILS, Ukrainian 111.
Could be weather as well, so couldn't see the runway at the minimum. So that means the approach has to start thinking really
November,
hard.
Papa, November, identified. Just confirm you're requesting the Harbour Scenic 1 at 500 feet, was it?
Papa November, 1,500 Harbour Scenic 1. Where's our clearance limit? It's pretty close. It's before Manly. Alright, and we'll have to do a single orbit to the left. Hopefully it gets us soon.
November, Papa, November, thanks. From Long Reef, cleared Harbour Scenic 1, 1,500 feet.
Harbour Scenic 1, 1,500 from Long Reef. November, Papa November.
Qantas 462, turn right heading 130 degrees, cleared ILS 16 right.
Right 130 degrees, cleared ILS 16 right, Qantas 462.
Okay, Harbour Scenic
462,
1,
speed, your
which
discretion.
is Manly, and then straight into the
Nice
harbour.
speed, Qantas 462.
Ukrainian 111, established runway 12 right. Well, 16 right. Yeah.
Ukrainian 111, thanks, you got 8 nautical miles till touchdown, contact the tower 120.5, good luck.
Switching tower, Ukrainian 111, thanks again.
German cargo 8674, descend 4,000 feet.
Roger, descend 4,000. German cargo 8674.
So this here is Manly, and if you live in Sydney you'll probably recognise a lot of this. Up the top here we have the old quarantine station. It's also a cathedral-y kind of, I think it used to be a nun's monastery kind of thing, up the top of the hill. Oh no, there it is. And yeah, so the top of the hill, the nun's monastery, there's a cathedral at the top, and over here we have the quarantine station.
German cargo 8674,
Which is,
speed
you know,
200 knots.
Exactly as you expect to hear it.
Roger.
Back in the last century there was a pandemic called the Spanish flu, and people coming into Australia basically spent 2 weeks sitting over there.
Cancel the star, turn left heading 020 degrees, descend to 6,000 feet.
Can you say again, can you pass me?
Killing 578, cancel the star, turn left heading 020 degrees, descend to 6,000 feet.
Cancel the star and turn left.
So Harry Vid,
descend to 6,000
ATC can
feet.
ask why it went around, because they want to determine if it's something they did and they
German
need to
cargo
fix.
8674, confirm descending 4,000.
Sierra Atomic Sheep.
Roger, confirming descending to 4,000.
For instance, if the aircraft came in,
it
it was too close to the traffic ahead of it, then they might need to adjust their spacing. Or if they couldn't spot the runway, then they might have to worry about the weather, especially in weather like this. It might get a rainstorm pass through the airfield and they'll have to shut the runway down for a while. Or it could be just unstable, you know, in which case that's a pilot problem, you've got nothing to do with ATC.
City approach, good evening, Victor Alpha Papa, 90,000, information, India.
Victor Alpha Papa, Sydney approach, good day.
Ah, you're talking
runway
about
16
Fort
right,
Denison,
expect
which
vision.
is over there somewhere.
Expect visual 16
We'll fly over it, there it is.
Alpha Papa.
That one there,
Sydney
Fort
approach,
Denison,
Qantas 462, establish ILS 16 right.
the old Sydney jail.
Qantas 462, roger.
From colonial times. It'll be properly represented in this scenery, I'm sure.
Qantas 462, traffic's going to be November Papa November, Diamond DA 40, Harbour Scenic 1, 1,500 feet. Approaching the bridge, you got 7 to run, contact the tower 120.5, good day.
Watch out for the traffic and over to tower 1205, thanks direct to see, good day.
7 cargo 8674, turn right, heading 110 degrees, descend to 3,000 feet.
Over North Sydney, we have Kirribilli House down that way somewhere.
That was 3,000.
That's where the Prime Minister lives.
Open.
Roger. Turning right 110 and heading for 3,000.
Obviously, we have the Opera House straight ahead, and a certain bridge which will come up just to our right-hand side before we start our turn.
Link 578, descend to 4,000 feet.
Then we have the Pacific Highway. And the new casino, which has just been told they can't run the casino over there, which is great. Royal Botanical Gardens with the Sydney Conservatorium of Music just up there, that little castle looking building with a big roof. As we start our turn on the inbound, over here we have Woolloomooloo, which is the Navy base in Sydney. Tort Inspector asking to fly under the bridge. We may well do that at some point.
German cargo 8674, speed.
Out there is Fort Denison, the old Sydney Jail.
Flight heading 125 degrees, intercept localizer 16 right. Once established, descend cleared island.
And the iconic Sydney Harbour, Opera House, Harbour Ridge. You can see the little flags on the top of the Harbour Bridge there. The city behind it, including the Centre Point Tower.
City approach, Qantas 1065, understand 9,000, we're speaking here.
Qantas 1065, Sydney approach, g'day, 16 right, expect the visual approach.
Yep, they've got some ferries out here as well.
16 right, Qantas 1065.
Victor Alpha Papa, cancel the star, turn left, heading 025 degrees.
Left 025, Victor Alpha Papa.
You can also see the apartment building over the top, over the other side there, and I think Luna Park just buried in amongst those buildings. Yeah, it's great to see Sydney properly represented again in the sim. Even these new buildings like this thing here, which I can't remember how old that is, but it's like not very. I think they've just finished building it and it's not even occupied yet.
City approach, Lufthansa cargo 8674, established on the localizer.
2019, 2018 kind of construction period.
8674.
Yeah, Sydney Harbour climb's not cheap at all. See the Sydney ferries down there. Get back into this turn. Our clearance limit is technically the shoreline. But we're on Vatsim, so I can probably get away with a little bit of, you know, extra.
Link 578, turn right, heading 070 degrees, descend to 3,000 feet.
Let's do the bridge.
Right heading 070 and 3,000, kilometers to me.
We'll do the naughty.
1065, cancel speed, allow 10 pounds.
1065,
Oh, the Royal Australian Navy destroyer down
cancel
there.
speed below 10,000, duty of speed, expect to cross
frigate,
over the top
whatever
of
it's
Sydney
called.
and back around.
Under cancel speed and understood, Qantas 1065.
Toilet Inspector did request this. Here we go.
German cargo 8674 traffic November Papa November, currently orbiting overhead Sydney Harbour, indicating crashing into Sydney Harbour. Contact the tower 120.5 with 5 to run.
Roger, got the traffic inside, then contact the tower 120.5, thanks for control, mate.
Report an incident.
Victor Alpha Papa, descend 5,000 feet.
Descend 5,000. Victor Alpha Papa.
Qantas 1065, descend to 6,000 feet.
6,000, 1065.
They noticed. Fortunately, there's only one passenger. A maximum capacity of 2. 3, if you wanted to.
Qantas 578, are you visual, runway 16 right?
So Tatonga Park Zoo is this area right here.
Runway 16 right.
Fly over it, in fact.
Apron, I can do visual for 16 right, clear 5
578, roger, 10 right, heading 130 degrees, cleared visual approach 16 right.
130 degree and clear for visual approach, student please, for runway 16 right, clear 5 degrees.
That's the zoo right there.
Qantas 1065
Oh, that
from
area?
TSAT, turn left heading 020 degrees.
TSAT heading left 020, Qantas 1065.
So, yep, Tatonga Park Zoo.
Civil approach, but Qantas 404 with you, passing through Global 140 for 9,000.
Qantas 404, Sydney approach, g'day, runway 16 right, expect the independent visual approach. Information India's current.
16 right, expected the independent visual, and we have India. Thanks, Qantas 404.
Now it's going to try something insane.
Victor Alpha 27 nautical miles till touchdown, descend to 3,000 feet.
Send 3,000, Victor Alpha
Yes,
Papa.
we touched down on the ground there for a second. And away we go.
Qantas 1065, expect the independent visual approach, runway 16 left.
Runway 16 left, Qantas 1065. Where did you?
QLink 578, contact the tower 120.5, bye-bye.
120.5, clear 5 degrees, bye-bye.
November, Papa November, traffic to your 9 o'clock, 1,500 feet, indicated Cessna 172, November 279, Bravo Tango.
November, Harbour. Hope you enjoyed that version of the bridge run.
Yeah, Sydney approach, Qantas 1952 with you, flight level 145 for 9,000.
Parramatta River is the city harbour.
Today, information India's current, expect the independent visual approach, runway 16 right.
The main river.
Individual approach for 16 right.
I guess technically you could say that all of this is Sydney Harbour, and everything past the bridge is Parramatta River.
Victor Alpha Papa, confirm descending 3000.
We'll try again, Victor Alpha Papa.
Qantas 1065, turn left, heading 270 degrees.
Left 270, Qantas 1065.
Victor Alpha Papa, turn right, heading 070 degrees.
Right, 070,
Tighten up this turn.
Approach rate, that's 4.
That there, just behind the Sydney Opera House. That there
409 Sydney approach, today information
is Government House.
The independent visual approach, runway 16 left.
Sydney independent visual approach,
that's where Gladys Berejiklian hangs out.
609, correction 40.
Or the Governor General, one of those.
409, thanks. Reduce your speed to 220 knots indicated.
Down here we have the Sydney Conservatorium of Music. Kind of looks like a little castle.
Sydney approach, 279 Bravo Tango.
279 Bravo Tango, Sydney approach. Hello, I get you to leave the harbour immediately northbound along the coast. Climb now 2,500 feet due traffic.
Climbing in the 2,500 towards north, 279 Bravo Tango.
Qantas 404, descend via the start 6,000 feet from Boogie, turn left heading 335 degrees.
Down to 6,000 from Boogie, 335 degrees, Qantas 404.
Victor Alpha Papa, turn right, turn right heading 180 degrees, confirm visual, runway 16 right.
Right, 180, we have visual, 16 right.
Victor Alpha Papa, thanks from that heading, cleared visual, independent.
Yeah, Darling Harbour's just behind the city there.
Clear to visual, independent visual, 16 right, Victor Alpha Papa.
We can't go over to Darling Harbour because our clearance limit is the bridge. So we'll just stay on this side. But
actually, Victor Alpha Papa,
if you look
runway change
way over here, you can see the
Laysville
Bridge.
Left.
That little peaky
change
dot.
runway 16 left, Victor Alpha Papa.
And Darling Harbour just around here.
Runway 16 right, Qantas 1065.
That's 409,
1000 right, heading, correction 10 left, heading 210 degrees, descend to 3,000 feet.
Heading 210, 3,000.
Yep, Circle Quay, there's a train station right about there.
9,000 visual.
And all, of course all the ferries.
Jetstar 409, descend via the star 4,000 feet.
Descend via the star 4,000, Jetstar 409.
Alrighty, I reckon we'll head back out to Bankstown.
And 1065, just reconfirm your visual.
Visual, Qantas 1065.
1065. November 279 at Bravo Tango, thanks for that.
Very busy approach.
One aircraft to 1,500 feet overhead the harbour. You caused conflict. Just advise intentions.
No problem. Just what's the fire on the city and check out the view.
279 Bravo Tango, roger. Continue heading northbound for the coast. I'll bring you in shortly.
There's the SCG.
Roger that.
City Showgrounds, City Cricket Ground. Lots of sporting happening there, and we also have Bondi. Bondi Junction there, this section there.
Contact the tower 120.5, good day.
105, Victor Papa, good job.
Qantas 404, descend to 4,000 feet.
10 to 4,000, Qantas 404.
Qantas 1952, descend via the start 6,000 feet from Boogie, turn left heading 335 degrees.
Yeah, descend to 5,000 and then that Boogie turn left at 335 degrees, Qantas 1952.
1952, just confirm that was 4,000 feet. Correction, 6,000 feet.
Okay, descend 4,000, Qantas 1952.
1952, apologies, 6,000.
Oh, we'll go for 6,000, Qantas 1952.
1065, turn left heading 140 degrees, cleared independent visual approach 16 right.
Heading 140.
That's the one, Barangaroo.
Visual approach, runway 16 right.
Barangaroo Tower.
Jetstar 409, speed now your discretion, thanks for that.
Speed my discretion, Jetstar 409.
Approach 279 Bravo Tango, I'll be right back from the expression.
Roger. Jetstar 409, descend to 3,000 feet, cancel the star, cleared independent visual approach, runway 16 left.
Send 3000.
Hello, Lachlan.
Cleared independent
How you
visual
doing?
approach, 16 left, just 4 and up.
Sydney approach, g'day, Qantas 697 with you, passing 134 for 9000, QNH 1025.
Qantas 697, Sydney approach.
Hi Spencer, we're
today,
meant to get the
making
Honeycomb
current
sometime
30
this week, I hope. Probably going to be Friday.
Expect the independent visual approach, runway 16 right.
I hope it's
Independent
this week.
visual approach,
Might be next week.
16 right, Qantas 697.
You know how the post is these days.
November, Papa November, estimated time left overhead the harbour.
November, Papa November.
November, Papa November, just the estimated time left overhead the harbour, thanks.
November, Papa November, that's our last one. We can leave now.
November, Papa November, thanks. You can call me back overhead, Manly Beach.
Call you back overhead at Manly, November, Papa November.
Qantas 1065, just over 7 to run, comes up the tower, 120.5, thanks for your help.
Wilson's Point.
We very much enjoyed the Scenic Grand Tour along the North Shore.
Not convincingly, it's a bit flat.
Qantas 404, turn right, heading 070 degrees,
I mean,
3,000 feet.
it's there, but, you know,
Right,
dead
070
flat.
degrees, down to 3000, Qantas 404.
Hi, Matt. Not bad. Bit tired. Normal work day today. Working at home.
Qantas 1952, descend to 4,000 feet.
Descend 4,000, Qantas 1952.
Spit bridge down there.
Qantas 967, descend via the start 6,000 feet from Boogie, turn left, heading 0, correction, turn left, heading 335 degrees downwind.
Descend via the star from left, from Boogie, turn left, heading 335, Qantas 697.
Sydney approach.
So yeah, to answer Lachlan, the Milson's Point station is physically there because it's
279
photo
Bravo
real.
Tango, thanks. At your discretion,
Well, it's not
maintain
3D model,
2,500
so it's
feet,
flat as a pancake.
Southbound along the coast, enter the harbour, overhead Manly Beach.
Alright, maintaining 2,500, turning south towards the harbour, 279 above Tango.
Qantas 404, turn right, heading 17, correction, turn, sorry, that was right, turn right, heading 170 degrees, confirm visual, runway 16 right.
Right, 170, on the visual, Qantas 404.
The other aircraft's at 2005.
Heading cleared independent visual approach, runway 16 right.
Clear the visual, 16 right, Qantas 404.
Might even see code
Sydney
is up.
approach, Qantas 697, can I confirm, clear down to 4,000 or 6,000?
697, 6,000 feet.
6,000, Qantas 697.
Jetstar 4 and on, establish 9 miles.
Jetstar 409. Great, Qantas 1611, descend via the start 6,000 feet from Boogie, turn left, heading 335 degrees.
Good old Manly Beach. And instruction without a
Qantas
repack.
1611, descend via the start 6,000 feet from Boogie, turn left, heading 335 degrees.
November, Papa November, Manly.
November, Papa November, thanks. Cleared to lease control area via Harbour Scenic 1,500 feet, no reported traffic.
Cleared departs 1,500, November, Papa November.
November 279 at Bravo Tango, your discretion, descend 1,500 feet.
Descending to 1,500, 279 something.
Jetstar 409 at 6.5 till touchdown, contact
Thinking
tower,
that's
120.5.
DY Beach.
1205, that's 4 and on.
Yeah, it's got to be. That's
Qantas
DY.
1952, descend to 3,000 feet, turn right, heading 070 degrees.
Descend 3,000, turn right 070 degrees, Qantas 1952.
Qantas 697, descend to 4,000 feet.
Sydney approach, Qantas 1611, finally with you.
Down to 4,000, Qantas 697.
Qantas 1611, Sydney approach, g'day, descend via the start 6,000
Feel
feet
quantity
from
imbalance,
Boogie,
we're
turn
going to use the
left, heading
transfer now.
07, correction from Boogie, turn left, heading 335 degrees.
Abacus.
6,000 at boogie turn left 335 degrees.
Qantas 4046 till touchdown, contact the tower 120.5.
Narrabeen Lakes coming up.
120.5, Qantas 404, thanks, good afternoon.
There's a little campground up in, I think it's here, might be up there.
November, Papa, November, just confirming you are one flight following outside the control airspace.
It's got to be in there.
Switch back.
So there's a little, like, it's used as a conference camp or it's a big hall, barracks style accommodations. Went there for a school camp and a church
Papa,
camp.
November, Sydney approach. Qantas 1952, are you visual, runway 16 right?
How do we end up on
130 degrees, maintain 3,000 feet until established on the PAPI. Cleared independent visual approach, runway 16 right.
Yeah, clear for the visual approach for 16 right, Qantas 1952.
Going to detune the Sydney approach because we don't need them for the moment. Going to stick them on the standby. Coming up towards Barrenjoey Head. And that's Pittwater on the inland side. Bilgola Beach and Avalon Beach at the top. Tonight on Milk Run, Qantas 1952 bungles up an approach into Sydney Airport. Trent flies a Diamond DA-40 around Sydney Harbour and under the bridge. So this is Palm Beach. Barrenjoey and Patonga somewhere up that way as well. That's Patonga in there. Cool. Lion Island. That's Patonga. Recognise the little inlet going next to it. Mullet Creek? Where's that? Let's see. If it's not inside controlled airspace, then I might be able to do that for you. Oh, that's way down south in Kembla Grange and stuff. No, we've got not going that far. We're up in Gosford, man. Patrick took an hour to get to his clearance. Funny. There's a lighthouse up here on Barrenjoey Head. Very nice depiction of this very strange rock face. Look at that. Kind of big pitted massive rock on the top of Barrenjoey. This is the Hawkesbury River. With Patonga in this little section that just juts out. Over the top of that is Dengar Island. And over the top of the mountain there is Little Wobby. This is a very interesting and difficult place to get free-to-air TV if you're not downloading it off the internet. There are some people that made a community antenna, which they ran a big line between about a dozen houses at Little Wobby, and they took it up this massive conduit up to the top of this ridge here, and they pointed it down at Patonga. Because Patonga used to have a community-run TV transmitter on top of the fire station. One of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. Mullet Creek on to my left. Ah, you're talking about the Hawkesbury River Bridge. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, I'll do a circle of the Hawkesbury River Bridge. That's cool. Unfortunately, we're outside of the Orbx area, so we're back in the default scenery, but we'll see how we go. I don't believe the bridges up here. We can't fly under them, that's for sure. So that there is Patonga Creek with the little township of Patonga. I think the large building there is probably the fire station. And someone put an antenna right at the top of this hill to service about 12 houses on the other side of this hill, which is in a little place called Little Wobby. Very interesting piece of little community electronics. There's this creek that Lachlan wants to see. So here's Little Wobby. It's got no road access at all. You can't drive to Little Wobby, you just catch a boat and put your boat next to the houses. But someone actually ran a electrical line right up the top of that hill and stuck an antenna inside the trees, pointing over there at the fire station at Patonga, which is insane. As you can see, no roads at all, and quite a steep drop off from the top here down into the Little Wobby area. Oh yeah, that's right, the Wondabyne train station. So unfortunately I don't think we have all the bridges up here, because there should be a bridge that connects from here over to there and then follows along this side here. Kura Bay just over the side, so we have this station somewhere up there, isn't it? I think that's it there. But you might notice Lachlan talking about this train station here. There's a tiny little train station that's a requested stop, so you have to actually like request the train to stop there. And there's no road access to the station, so the guys that live at Little Wobby would take their boat over here, as an example. But we are outside of the Orbx scenery area. You can see where the train line goes, straight around that little corner there. So all this is actually default scenery, FS 2020. As you can see, a missing bridge. These things happen. We're also at treetop height at this point. Might want to climb a bit more. Let's go max power, climbing it up, 1005 again. And I can see the bridge that we're aiming at. There is Spectacle Island. We're going to kind of aim straight at the Pacific motorway and then head on down south. Bankstown on 132.8. Should also go to transponder, set a VFR code, done. And you're on a heading of 211. Auto parts in, 1,500, heading 211, straight over the bridge, Hawthorne River. A lot of bumpiness as we go over these hills. What's the weather doing? Yeah, that should be fine. Want to go back and see it again, Lachlan? Coming up towards Galston Gorge somewhere along here. I think that's it there, with the water on the bottom. Quite bumpy weather, as you'd probably expect with 17 knots over the mountains. Since this is default MSFS 2020 this far out from Sydney. Technically what we're seeing here is Bing maps made 3D. Bing map. Very true. Just going to slow down to a normal kind of speed here for a while. Clearly in turbulence, so we don't want to be hammering the speed too hard. About 110-ish. Galston Gorge. If you've ever driven down there, it's a bit of an experience. So Lachlan, when are you going into Sydney next? Doing some train spotting? I think I need to go up there in Christmas. Gonna make my application for leave, and then we'll see if we can buy ourselves a aircraft flight up to Sydney sometime around Christmas Eve. Come back on New Year's Day or something. Okay, looking out towards Prospect Reservoir. Going to make a course correction over to the right a little. Heading. Okay, it's runway 29er down in Bankstown. We'll go for 29 centre, vacate on Charlie, straight up into where we are. So somewhere around the Dural tanks. Might even be further south. Nope, seeing the tanks. There's Parramatta, I think. Sydney City way over there in the distance. Swap over into CTAF. Looking for 132.8. Okay, to brief our arrival, it'll be Prospect 1500. From Prospect we track direct to Bankstown, then we enter a downwind, make it a right hand downwind, runway 29 centre, 1000 feet. And I'll call the base. Prospect is in sight. So the actual waypoint for Prospect is the far eastern side of the lake, and we track direct to Bankstown from there. Kind of the Hills Blacktown area. autopilot's off, and I'll just continue the flight director as well. Bankstown traffic, November, Papa November, Diamond DA40, 1500 over Prospect, inbound to join right hand, downwind runway 29 centre. Traffic, Bankstown. Transfer pump is off. And we'll start on down. Forgot you don't descend yet, you have to stay up 1005 until you reach a beam. Come back on up. Not sure about this Saturday. I'll need to find out what I'm doing. There's a possibility I might be going out. Depends. A friend of mine's been in hospital, so if they're out by then, I might be hanging out with them all weekend. Or at least some of it. Airfield inside. I have. In fact, I need to put up a video of it because I took a video of me driving from Essendon into the city. So I'll pop that onto the YouTube soon. I've also been up to Kilmore to visit the 737 sim, and of course the other weekend I flew with Aviator 997 on a Cessna 172. That sim was you got to know the person. It's in his own garage. Intending to become part of the World Flight crew there next year. Hi, Titan Inspector. We have 25% of the people back in the office in next week, I think. I won't be part of that 20% because they're going to take in a group of new employees and train them up and stuff. So we're going to have a class of new starters through next month. I'm not sure if we'll be back before the end of the year. Probably not. To be honest, I don't mind not being in the office. It's fine. As long as I can leave my house and go outside, visit friends, go to their house, I'm happy. Roger, I'll probably fang you a text message if you're watching. Go down and hang out with your cat. Bankstown traffic, November, Papa November is a mid-down wind, runway 29 centre. Indeed, Spencer. And the opposite train rides at, 4 PM train ride home with the school kids in 30-degree heat, getting hay fever from all the pollen in the air. That's always fun too. There's the velodrome. Bankstown traffic, November, Papa November is downwind, runway 29 centre. Bankstown traffic, November, Papa November, final runway centre. Agreed, Daniel. I'd love to fly the GTN 750 or even the 650, the smaller version. I like the 650 better, because it's what I've flown on. They're essentially the same thing. This one's got a smaller screen. Based on traffic, November, Papa November, crossing runway 29 right. Okay, we're going straight ahead and over to the right at the top of the taxiway. And there we are. Let's park her up. Transfer pumps off, pitot is off, avionics master is off. And this is one of the weirdest aircraft to shut down. you don't starve it of fuel like normal. What you do is open up this switch here and turn that off. Pretty well done. Fuel pump is off. And we'll shut it down. The way you shut it down is using the key that you turn it on with. Key down to off. Aeroplane is now off. One of the most unusual kind of setups that, if you've not flown on these before, it's just a bit mind-bending how different it is from a Cessna 172. Okay, the fuel switch is off and we can open her up. But we can't because it's a default airplane and there's no doors. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the flights around Sydney Harbour. Good little view of Orbx scenery there. So that is a pay-left scenery you can purchase from Orbx. You can see the link below. Gives you the Sydney Harbour Bridge, all the city buildings, which will be much nicer when we get a helicopter eventually. Unfortunately, FS 2020 does not yet have a helicopter available for it. Microsoft itself says that they're going to probably release one in 2022, so we've got 2 years to go before we're allowed to have helicopters apparently. Who knows if there's a third-party add-on developer making one. But of course, at the moment we're fairly close to a clean install. We have the scenery installed. I've got a couple of extra repaints floating around, and of course I've got that Airbus A320. It's not really an add-on, it's just a modification of the default. It's getting better all the time. Anyway, that is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 around Sydney with the Orbx add-ons, default Diamond DA40. Hope you enjoyed the flights. I've been Musical Aviator. That's been a Milk Run Monday. Bye for now.